Okay, so there's been a lot of streamers going around and posting videos about this guy or talking about this guy, James Fishback. So I wanted to look through his page and see what he's all about. So here he is, running to succeed Ron DeSantis as Florida's next Republican governor to make life more affordable for you and your family. Okay, I mean, that sounds pretty good.
My name is James Fishback, and I'm running to
Cut it
succeed
down a little
Ron
bit.
DeSantis as Florida's next Republican governor. I'm running for Florida governor so I can make life more affordable for you and your family. Easier to afford groceries, to buy a home, to raise a family, and when it's all said and done, to retire with dignity.
I mean, yeah, but that's what everyone says. I don't think there's a problem with him saying that. I think it's actually pretty good. But no one's going to actually go through with that. We've seen this time and time again. Every single governor, president, mayor has said this exact same thing for their campaign.
I'll do that by stopping the H-1B scam so our workers, especially our college grads, can get jobs again. I'll tell Blackstone, Airbnb, and foreign investors that no, in Florida, you can't buy our homes because our homes are for families. And
maybe he actually is going to do it, though. It seems very legit. He's addressing the actual direct problems rather than addressing a wide-scale problem, just saying, yeah, we'll fix it. He's directly going straight to the source. Because this is a problem we see everywhere, is where Blackstone and all of these foreign exchanges are buying large, sums of houses, thousands of houses everywhere. And then they just hold on to them as investment, or they rent them out and refuse to sell, which gives them, in a sense, a monopoly to where they can control the market and make them more expensive. Because if you can't find a house anywhere, whoever owns all of the extra houses can just make them whatever price they want, and you have to buy them. But I mean, that's great. And on stopping the H-1B1 visas, I mean, I don't think we should stop them completely everywhere because, of course, there's exceptions. Very qualified people should be able to come and work here, but only if you're paying. They should pay a much higher tax rate, first of all, and it shouldn't be for entry-level jobs or anything like that. And then they should get paid the fair wage that they deserve. So then they're not taking a job away from someone else; they're actually qualified for it. But anyways,
the construction of any AI data center that threatens to raise our electricity bills or poison our water supply.
Okay, hold on. That's good, because something a lot of people don't realize is these AI data centers that are taking a lot of electricity are actually raising the base rate for everyone. And so probably a small percentage of the electricity they use, of the money they have to spend into electricity, actually gets redistributed and charged to everyone else. So depending on where you live, if you live near one of these data centers, your electricity bill will actually be higher because they're using more electricity. Not directly, you don't have to be using any more. It's if they're using more, then you have to pay a little bit more. It's not anything insane, but it's still bad. And the amount of water they're using, I've heard it's a lot, but I've also heard it's very little and the numbers are super exaggerated because the water can just be recycled and collected and reused. But I'm not sure about all of that.
Completely and totally eliminate property taxes for every Florida resident.
Oh my!
Because in America, you don't rent your home from the government; you own it, free and clear.
He's just not missing. He's directly saying what we want to hear. He's directly trying to say, am I gonna move to Florida after this? This is probably one of the best campaigns I've ever seen. Because we see the same thing said in the introduction that he's always said. We see that everywhere. But we never see people address the direct, actual cause of the problems. We see them address side problems, things on the side that are causing slight issues and stuff like that. But we never see them directly just say, we're stopping these huge corporations from buying thousands of houses. We're cutting off property tax, which is amazing. I was actually wondering that because, of course, they're probably not stopping car taxes, but I've always wondered that. So when I bought my first car, I actually never knew I had to pay a tax on it. So I thought you just paid the first tax. And then 2 years later, actually very recently, I got a ticket and they said my registration was expired. I didn't know I had to pay yearly taxes on my car because I was just never told that. And I never got a ticket until it was a year or two late. Well, it was a little over a year and a half late. They just told me to go pay it and bring it in. It was $300 for that. And my new registration, there was late fees, taxes. It was just, I wish they would stop car tax too. And I wish they would just raise wages, because you can't live off of $750 a year. ish. I think it's a little less than 750. And then raise taxes for the rich, keep taxes for middle and lower class in the same spot, I believe. But just make like a base rate across taxes for everyone. Like it should be at least 10% taxes. There should be no way in which a huge corporation should be able to pay less than 10% taxes, especially an individual that owns that corporation. Anyways, I think getting rid of property tax is incredible.
Nowadays, not all Republicans are the same. If a Republican politician supports the H-1B scam that fires our workers, he can't be our next governor. If he goes out and supports the building of AI data centers that threaten our electric bills and our water supply, he can't be our next governor. And if he goes to Congress and does nothing for us but makes millions of dollars trading stocks for himself, he can't be our next governor. Congressman Byron Donalds can't be our next governor because he won't fight for Florida like Ron DeSantis has. I will. I'll fight to preserve Governor DeSantis' wins by keeping Florida free from DEI, radical transgenderism, Soros-backed prosecutors, child predators, voter fraud, and the millions of illegals that invaded our country on Kamala Harris's watch.
Hold on. That was I need to
radical transgenderism.
He's addressing every problem we have. Every single problem we have, he's addressing it. He's addressing child predators, radical transgender. I'm assuming he mostly means about children, because that's mostly what radicalism is. That's mostly where the radical side sits, or at least our problems with the radical side. That's mostly where they sit. What else?
Florida free from DEI.
DEI. Oh my gosh, this is what we have been wanting to hear, because all of us have at least seen DEI and had problems with it, and it's just we all hate it because it's so regressive for what we need to push towards to get to a better future and a better society, and to see improvements in things like technology and everything. Because why would you hire someone who is less qualified for a job? It makes no sense. Let's just ignore everything except for qualifications. But we've seen this time and time again, and we just hate the idea that we can get outruled because, or like fired, or someone's hired instead of us, someone's accepted to a college instead of us because someone is black or a woman or Mexican or something like that. It should be basic, like completely off of merit. It should be qualifications. It shouldn't be anything like that. So I do see a lot of people hate DEI. Everyone hates it. Not everyone, actually. I just think the people who like DEI are just stupid, right? Or they don't have to experience it, or they're getting the benefits from it, which honestly, if there was a benefit to where it was like white people got hired more likely or more commonly, then I would gladly, I would vote for someone who wanted DEI. I mean, you can't blame them for voting in their best interest, right? But we'll continue.
Radical transgenderism, Soros-backed prosecutors, child predators, voter fraud, and the millions of illegals that invaded our country on Kamala Harris's watch. I'll do that because, unlike Byron Donalds, I'm not a politician. I'm an investor and a businessman. I stood up to Wall Street. I sued the Federal Reserve, and I filed a landmark brief with the Supreme Court defending President Trump's right to fire corrupt federal officials. I started Incubate Debate.
Okay. This is something I don't think is going to happen anytime soon, but it looks like we're pushing in the right direction towards this, to where these officials, I'm not talking even about the corrupt officials, I'm talking about more specifically judges who are corrupt and are letting out these criminals and just taking them in and then just letting them out sometimes for race, gender, reasons like that, when it really shouldn't be anything based on that. If someone commits a crime, they get the punishment. And we need to take these judges who are letting these people back on the streets who commit violent crimes, who commit rape, who are predators, which you could see this a lot with things like even just YouTubers, go to Gideon, Skeeter Gene, any of them, and they tend to catch these people and they get released again. We need to put those judges on trial.
Free high school debate league for thousands of kids across Florida so they could learn how to debate, discuss, and grow as Americans.
I think that's good because we see this a lot, especially I see it growing up. I'm 18. So in this current generation, the second I try to debate with someone or combat someone's point who is usually far left, because I'm not combating a lot of points that are on the right side. I mean, even when I do, I still tend to see this. They won't try to defend it. They'll just start to insult you, or they'll start to attack you, or just be like, I'm not doing this right now. I'm not dealing with this anymore. and getting mad, even if they try to bring up an argument against you, the second you combat them with logic or anything, they get mad, or they start to, like, literally just attack you, literally get mad at you, or they'll start, like, being violent and threatening you. So I think we do need to teach people how to debate, because it also encourages critical thinking, which we struggle to see a lot nowadays. Especially, it's really bad. A lot of people don't recognize how bad it is, especially if they're older or younger than I. Actually, if you're younger than I am, you probably do. But I struggle to see critical thinking a lot, and I see it a lot with people like, this makes me feel sad, this makes me feel uncomfortable, we should silence people. Then you bring up a combative argument, or you bring up a statistical argument, and they say those statistics are racist, homophobic, and it just, that's what we need to combat, is the lack of critical thinking and the ignorance to a lot of people, where they refuse to change their mind. They go into a debate thinking, I refuse to change my mind no matter what, even if they're 100% right. And we see that a lot right now, which I think hosting a debate where people can learn how to debate and can actually debate would be very helpful for that. And that would help the next generation grow up with more critical thinking and more willingness to change their mind. But we also see this with people who are good at debating and stuff, is they're still ignorant. People are always ignorant to change their mind. And it's just people being bad and not willing to admit that they're wrong, which is just terrible. Anyways, we'll continue.
I love our state. I am a fourth-generation Floridian. My great-grandfather fought in World War I and then owned a small hotel on Fort Lauderdale Beach. My grandfather fought in World War II and ran 750 head of cattle in Okeechobee. My father proudly drove the city bus in Broward County, where I was born and raised. I went to Florida public schools from kindergarten to graduation. Even though I grew up in South Florida, I now call the Panhandle home. Okay. I'm an unapologetic.
This is also something we need. I think this is good. This is going to go great for his campaign, right? If I was in Florida, I'd be voting for this guy, because he's relatable to most people. He wasn't raised in a private school and given millions of dollars off graduation, and he went to public school. He's seen all of this stuff firsthand, like a lot of us have. So he understands the actual problems, which I think is where he's getting this idea of addressing the actual problems and not just some problems that are like adjacent.
A Christian who believes that Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. And I'm a proud American who will never apologize for our history. In the coming months, I'm going to meet as many Florida voters as I can, where they live, work, and pray. I'll visit all 67 counties, because Florida's next governor.
Oh my God. Jesus, bro. Can't be saying that. He said that was intentional. That had to be intentional. Did he say counties?
67 counties, because Florida's next.
Does Florida actually have 67 counties? Oh my God, he wasn't joking. That's going to win him the election by itself. That by itself. He's going to get a bunch of people who are like 18 to 25 just saying 6-7 now.
This governor has to be someone you can see, talk to, and even debate with. I look forward to seeing you soon. My name is James Fishback, and I approve this message because Florida is our home, America is our birthright, and we will never let them steal it from us.
Honestly, that's good. That's really good. That's incredible. Hold on. Genuinely, I see zero problems with anything he said. I think the main thing people are going to argue against is how he doesn't believe in a huge separation between church and state. But, if America is based off of Christianity, then yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be a huge separation of church and state, because I think we need at least something where we can base everything off of. Oh yeah, I did see Asmongold react to him. I just didn't want to watch it yet. I wanted to go into it blind, but reposted it somewhere for this.
Office, I'll deploy the Florida Army National Guard. My name is James Fishback, and I'm running for Florida governor to pretend. Wow, shocker. Is that a Freudian slip?
That be like.
The ops would say so. I saw my family.
Yo, what? He knows what he has to do. He knows what he has to say. These are probably real things that happen.
Lose their business after the Great Depression, after the Great Recession. I'd be very old if it was the Great. Older than Biden somehow.
Yeah, no, like, we've all been there. Everyone who's recorded a video or anything has had, like, one thing where they just say it 20 times and they can't get it right for some reason. It's funny to watch. Like, this is just...
Well, you're gonna squat up when I start talking.
He seems like an extremely relatable person.
High noon. My name is James Fishback, and I'm running for Florida governor to be a law...
Yeah, like... I mean, honestly...
That's right. They're nutballs.
I'm sorry, we're not doing the therapy thing.
God. Yes.
As governor, we are bringing back the mental asylums and we're not apologizing. I mean, if someone's crazy and does something crazy or seems like they will do something crazy, they should be like, yeah, they shouldn't be out in public if they do something crazy. Yeah, yeah. I'm running for governor because there is a war against regular Americans. We must fight back. This is what I mean. He is the governor for the people. Florida might be saved. See, we're seeing the exact opposite things between Florida and New York. This is insane. Except I think he's mayor, right? He's not governor. I don't know. I never really got into that. Oh yeah, the New York City mayor. I never really got into that. I disagreed with pretty much everything he said he was going to do. Anyways, he really likes Asmongold. But Fishback's own uncle supports another candidate. I don't get it. Oh, I probably should have read this first. He's just reposting a bunch of Asmongold clips. I mean, honestly, that's an incredible play because the reason why I'm watching it is because I saw Asmongold was reacting, or like looking at him. So I just clicked on it. I saw what he was looking at, and I wanted to take my own take on it first before I watched Asmongold's video. And you could see, I think he did watch this. I think this was one of the first things he watched. Pretty. I'm like 99% sure. I could have sworn that would make sense because it has 4.3 million views. But anyway, so I think his best bet is what he's doing. He seems like a really like smart person. Like he seems like he genuinely knows what he's talking about. First of all, the solution is not gun control or anti-Semitism laws. It's remigration. Now, yeah. I mean, he knows what the people are. He knows where we're headed right now. Because this is why you see people like he's not sugarcoating anything. He's not bullshitting or like walking around what he needs to say. He's just saying it, which is why people like Nick Fuentes are currently blowing up and like Tucker Carlson are making a huge comeback in popularity. It's because they're just saying what needs to be said and they're saying what people are thinking because we're all just getting so annoyed and fed up with hearing people say, oh, it's this, you need to be nicer, we need to treat these other people better than our own people and stuff, and like the problem is guns. Like we're all getting sick of hearing that. We all know the problem is. Everyone who's telling us what the problem is, they know what the actual problems are, and Nick Fuentes is addressing the actual problems. James Fishback is addressing the actual problems. Nick Fuentes does focus a lot more on the social aspect, though, although he does have extremely radical ideas. Still, though, I'd like to make a whole video on him, of course. That'd be pretty interesting, I think. Asmongold is a patriot. Asmongold said he is bringing back James Fishback for governor of Florida. Oh, says he is backing. Okay.
I want to clarify some comments that I made this week rather abruptly.
Let's watch this.
In a live interview about the young man in our country who watched.
I don't know. It looks like Twitch. I've never used Twitch though. Nick Fuentes.
And apologize for absolutely nothing. The young man
wait, what did he say? His best bet is
this week rather abruptly in a live interview about the young men in our country who watch and follow Nick Fuentes.
Okay.
I want to clarify and apologize for absolutely nothing. The young men in Pasco County
That's kind of an old person
blue America First hats who came to our event, where the average age in the room was somewhere in the 60s. We're there, we're respectful, we're civil, we had a great conversation, and they have a real pulse for what is going on in the country. Too often these days, young white men are discounted and told that their opinions don't matter, they're toxically masculine, that they have some sort of privilege and their conversation and contributions don't matter.
Exactly.
I'm running for Florida governor because Florida is our home. America is our birthright, and we can never, ever sell out the men who built this country.
Okay. I just want to talk about the white men being called like entitled and stuff. So I've had people who are, just because they're black, tell me that I'm entitled when I grow up, probably I'd say lower middle class, but they live in literal mansions. Like there's a neighborhood around here where the cheapest house is like around $4 million and they're all custom built homes. He lives in there. And he's calling me entitled, an entitled white boy. That's what they call me. Or that's what he would call me. And I of course, just let it go because it doesn't matter to me. But I just remember that I was probably 15 or 16 at the time, and even then it bothered me. And I think that's why so many people are turning to people like Nick Fuentes and him, because they want the truth. It's like we're not the people who are getting violent, who are getting emotional during these debates. And we saw this with the Nick Fuentes and Piers Morgan debate, where Piers would just completely ignore what he was saying and just attack him personally, attack his father, because he saw it was getting to him. So we just kept doing that instead of attacking his actual points. But I think this is great. I think he genuinely will turn out. I think it's gonna work out. He's probably going to become the new governor. And if he does, I mean, that'd be great. I would like to see how that goes. And I think he'll be a great example if he actually follows through with what he's saying, which he seems like he will. I think he'll be a great example of where we can go and what we need in our government.